Hello and good evening, everybody. I'm Josh. Welcome to the Nightly from Hatch, a slumber party for pop culture lovers. It's just me hosting tonight, but I am joined by two returning guests tonight here in the Pillow Fort, the dynamic duo, Joe Simons and Jeremiah Coughlin, hosts of Hatch's Sleepytime Sports. Welcome back to the Nightly, Joe and Jeremiah.
Josh, so good to be here. Thank you for having us. I'm sleepy and excited.
Truly a pleasure. And that is kind of the combo we try to cultivate here. So excited and so sleepy. The reverse of a caffeine pill addiction on Saved by the Bell. I'm so scared.
So excited.
And so sleepy. We had you on the show not too long ago, and you talked to my co-host Kristen about what you're excited for when it comes to the now current Winter Olympics in Milan. And now we're really in the thick of it. How are you all feeling about it? What's your overall take on the Olympics so far?
Yeah, it's in full swing. It's been really exciting. There's been some cool stuff. I'm very kind of keyed in on the hockey right now. The U.S. women are crushing it, doing so well, even probably better than expected. And there's been some kind of interesting upsets in the men's hockey so far, with Finland beating Sweden and the Slovakians coming out and putting on a good show. So it's, I mean, kind of everybody's very afraid of Canada, but it's been really exciting to watch. And then yeah, so there's some cool stuff with like Mexico's first cross-country skier getting it done. And
whoa.
Yeah, just like some really cool stuff going on so far. I'm staying up late. Those hockey games start at 3 a.m. Pacific time. So
whoa.
Burning the midnight oil.
And you got the NHL dudes are in the hockey now. And I didn't realize, Jeremiah, but they hadn't been in the last few Olympics because of extenuating circumstances. Mm-hmm. So you got the top of the top now on the men's side.
Yeah, they brought them back, and I don't know. I mean, it definitely changes sort of the dynamic of all of it. I like both for their own reasons, of having the amateur players and the pro players, but just to see kind of the top of the top really, and you know, like what's at stake and what's on the line. It's hard to handicap too, because there's like just so many names, you know. It's like beyond an all-star team. And, you know, like teams that don't necessarily have like a big presence in the NHL, like you're still seeing, you know, guys show up, and then you're like, oh, well, this guy's actually pretty good. I mean, he might not be NHL good, but he's doing really good right now. So that's also like another element of it that's pretty cool.
Is Mike Piazza on Italy's team? Is that?
Yeah, he's playing goalie.
That right?
Actually, yeah, it was a very natural, you know,
the catcher of the ice. Yeah, of course.
That's what they call it.
I am loving the whole chalk and baits of it all. I can't get enough. I love the branding with those two. I love that they're a married couple. It's this great story, and it got me thinking, guys. Like, that is a very well-known pre-existing relationship into the Olympics. But sometimes I'm watching like the two-person bobsled or other pair skating, and I just want to know how these people relate to each other outside of their event. I want on the screen country and then relationship status. Are they cousins? Are they dear friends? Are they currently separated? Are they having an affair? What is the situation with this pair? Because I think it provides an extra dynamic to my viewing pleasure.
Completely agreed. I think it's like when you're working, because I've worked in close creative partnership with people, and I think probably in athletic partnership, something like ice dancing, there is a creative element, but it's also like, you know, when I'm working on a script with my writing partner, there's no chance that I'm going to drop her on her head. So like there is like an added element of trust there.
No question. Jeremiah and I, and our creative partnership, we've never had a situation where he's dropped me on his head. Now, for a photo shoot, he did cradle me in his arms. So that was probably the closest we got to ice dancing, I think, JC.
Yeah. How could they drop me on my own head? Well, and I just, to like another layer of that too, is I think there's a curling, like a mixed curling pair that just got paired together to be a curling team, and then they fell in love and they got married. You know,
that's beautiful.
It's very sweet.
We want the tea on that. Like, you know, like give us that story. Give us a little bit of the...
Who made the first move?
Yeah, give us the Days of Our Lives version of the Olympics.
The first move.
Yeah.
It is. I love those. I do think we get all those human interest stories, right? But I do think they could be a little more gossipy. We get like, this person grew up curling in the remote wilderness of Canada and their parents were a curling team and taught them. But I want to see like, well, they used to be part of this curling team and then they got divorced and it is a whole national scandal.
Yeah, who do they have beef with? Yeah, you could make it a little more,
right?
A little more WWE or something, like give us
with a dash of Real Housewives or Below Deck.
We're already like doing so much nationalism. Let's bring a little more hype to it, a little more razzle dazzle.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Make a little more turf involved. Besides just your country. Now you're like, well, if those guys show up at my curling end or whatever they call it, then there's going to be trouble, big trouble.
Yeah, that's right, brother.
You don't know how to sweep a stone like I do, buddy. Cream of the crop, brother.
I'm coming to your house. That's houses, I think, where you try to get the stones into.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
This is, we're kind of freestyling. Where this is why we have a writer's room. Are there any sports that or events that you all didn't have a ton of experience with, but have like really enjoyed by surprise or just kind of by like, oh, I stumbled across this and I was riveted?
Cross country for me, the sheer athleticism involved to make yourself propel up the hill. I watched a race that I think took like 3 minutes, and roughly 90 seconds into the race, it was pretty close. And all of a sudden, this dude from a Scandinavian country, I can't remember, immediately turned into peak Lance Armstrong going up the hills in the Tour de France and just left everyone in the dust. Like, it was a remarkable achievement and just absolutely trucking up the hill. And what's great about the Olympics now is they have all these remarkable drone camera angles that they didn't have before. And now you can really see a lot of the crazy athleticism of these people that you weren't privy to before. And cross country just blew my mind because, if you're on an elliptical for 5 minutes, my thighs start burning. I can't imagine what it's like out there.
Totally.
And just to piggyback on that, I will say the drones have really changed the game. I mean, because it's like before it was like a static camera, top of the hill, bottom of the hill. And now we were watching some of the slalom skiing, and I don't know why, but there was a mic on the drone and you could hear it. I don't know if you've experienced this.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, why can I, let's just turn that mic off because it just sounds like bees are in my house. And I think I'm being attacked by thousands of angry bees. But it's like, you can see it when they do the bobsled. You can see the drones following them down, and it's like really changed. I don't know if they've done that before so much. I think it was mostly like cable cameras and that kind of thing and static. But it's really changed the game. The drones make it so cool. It just gives you a whole new viewpoint of all of it, obviously.
And the best thing about drones is there's no problems with them. Nothing problematic about it at all. So we can just enjoy
perfect
it.
Technology that has never been misused.
We did it.
Yeah. I mean, God forbid that technology gets in the wrong hands, but so far, so good.
So far, just for watching skiers and snowboarders.
And the 2-person luge, that's my thing.
Oh, yeah.
I just sent Joe this meme that was like, the 2-person luge looks like a lie that someone really committed to, where they're like, no, you both go at the same time. And they're like, no, you don't. And they're like, watch. And then someone did it.
That doesn't seem right.
And then they're like, oh, well, I guess this is the sport now. Yeah, we're
yeah. So intimate.
Yeah.
We're just.
And are they married?
Yeah,
I need to know.
We need that on the Chiron in the lower third. Who's married?
If they're not, they probably should be. After that,
yeah, to make it an honest luge in God's eyes. Though, this was a little hiccup I had because it's so thrilling to watch a race where someone pulls out ahead of the others, but you lose a little bit of that photo finish, right? When it's one person and they show the little green for this person's 0.2 seconds ahead of the previous best time, or 0.4 seconds behind. And it's I believe it, and that is helpful context, but gosh, it's so exciting to watch someone just get out in front and take the bull by the horns, as it were.
It is funny because I was watching some speed skating this morning, and they have that as well. And the announcer, the person was ahead of the pace the person had set previously by like, a quarter of a second. And the announcer's just like, oh, really off to a lousy start. No chance here. And they kept gaining on the person. And they're like, boy, they're really disappointed in this run. I'm thinking, I have no idea what's going on. And I have to trust this person I've never heard before to tell me that this is actually a bad job, because my eyes are telling me the opposite. A lot of trust is involved with the broadcasting of the Olympics.
It's so interesting too, because like a truly 1 second difference that like you might not even notice. Like if you were counting, if you're like, count how fast this person finished their speed skating run, you would probably be off one direction or another and have no idea. And when you're watching and you have the hundredths of a second in front and they're announcing it and they're going, wow, this is just a brutal. They were really a favorite coming out of nationals and their family is going to excommunicate them after this. They are really bringing shame to their home country.
Going to be an awkward Thanksgiving.
They're going to get together on Thanksgiving, even though they are from a country that does not celebrate Thanksgiving. They're going to get together just to shame their skater cousins.
So successful the American exceptionalism was in this Olympics. They're now all celebrating Thanksgiving.
They all have to have an awkward Thanksgiving. That's right.
There was just a speed skating one that where they literally tied, and because it's like it's a laser across the finish line, and if you watch them in the speed skating, they all like kind of put one skate ahead, and it was literally like photo finish on the laser, and it was exactly the same, and they're like, this is like almost improbable.
Wow.
And they gave them both gold medals because of it, which is incredible.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it being that close before.
It was really crazy to see, because like I said, that they have all this technology around it now, where probably in like 1963 they would have just been like, well, you're a communist country, you get third or whatever, but now
yeah the judges are having a fist fight.
There's been some of that too. There's been some judging controversy, right?
What?
Oh,
whoa, I haven't heard about this.
No fist fighting, but I think in one of the figure skating competitions there was like a judge that has a bad reputation of kind of like sandbagging like countries that they don't like.
But you see that in the NBA. So, I like when they have things that are like personal to me that make sense in the Olympics. Like, oh, that's just the Scott Foster of figure skating.
That's right.
It's just in
Personal
there right now.
vendettas.
It's great. Yeah, it's perfect.
Because I feel like that was always like kind of joke logic when I was a kid. People would go like, oh, the Russian judge, they're very tough. And it's like, oh no, it is just people that have aesthetic preferences and like national biases. And it's pretty spectacular that like every 4 years we get together and people from countries all over the world take out their personal grudges on one another.
What a privilege to get to that point, to be a judge of an Olympic sport and just be like, oh, I can't wait for Sweden to come in. Finally, we're going to put them in their place.
Yeah.
It's so funny that a judge has a bad reputation and like, they're not just like kicked out. They let them come back again.
Yeah. The same lady for 30 straight years has had the same grudge. It's like, well,
yep,
that's just Barbara. What are you going to do?
She also,
Bulgarian Barbara.
She knows where the bodies are buried, and she's just like, no, I'm a judge, and you're just gonna have to deal with this, and I don't like anybody.
Yeah, you're gonna have to eat it. Well, before I let you go, I would like to play a little game that we play frequently on the Nightly. It is called Kiss, Marry, Kill. And we're going to play Milano Cortina edition of Kiss, Marry, Kill. It is much like a game you might have played at slumber parties in your youth.
Real mature, Josh. Real mature.
Because we try to keep it a little family friendly. There's no sexual intercourse, but there is murder as part of this game.
This all makes sense.
The American way. Yeah.
Let's start here. Kiss, marry, kill. Just as equipment: skis, snowboards, luge sleds.
Okay. Well, I'll just kick it off, and I'll say, I'm gonna kiss skis. I'm gonna marry luge sleds, because why not? That's fun. That seems fun. And then the only time I ever snowboarded, I broke my tailbone, and it's been the bane of my existence for the last 30 years. So I'm thinking I killed snowboards because they tried to kill me. So
yeah, just vengeance.
Yeah, Retribution.
Classic Olympics vengeance.
But I'm marrying that luge sled, baby.
Wow.
Locking it up.
Wow.
Yeah, lock it down. When you know, you know.
Yeah, put a ring on it.
What about you, Joe?
I'm going to kill the luge. Yeah.
Kill the luge.
I absolutely have to kill the luge. That is literally death on a sled. That is a terrifying object. I don't trust it with my heart for short term for a kiss or long term to marry. So we got to get the luge completely out of there. I think skis are more stable. They've been around longer. They're more established. They're more reliable. They drink less Mountain Dew than a snowboard does. So I'm gonna marry the skis out of stability, and then I'm gonna smooch the snowboard. It's a good time here for a short time, not a long time. So we're going to smooch the snowboard. We're going to marry the skis, and we're going to kill the luge.
Keep it extreme.
Gotta keep it extreme. This raises, Joe, you raise an excellent question, and Jeremiah too, your snowboarding injury, not to make you relive past trauma. What is the number one Olympic sport, especially Winter Olympics, especially while we're here, that if someone was like, could you complete this activity without grievous injury? What would you be the most likely to be like, I cannot?
Oh, I cannot? Oof.
Or what's the one that you're like, I could do that. Like I wouldn't win,
Sure,
but I could get from end to end.
Yeah, like I could do the speed skating. Like you're just skating. You're just skating in a circle. Like I wouldn't like my times would not be close to anybody, but I could do it.
But you could get through it.
I could do it.
Yeah.
What I couldn't do, well, now with the ski-mo thing where you've got to climb a mountain and then ski down it.
You love the ski-mo.
That's probably it, because I probably couldn't do either, if we're being honest. Like I think I could do the bobsled, I mean, it's like you get in the thing, like not to say that it's like not hard, like, to steer and all that stuff. Like there is talent and skill to it, but I think once you're in it, gravity does.
You could go top to bottom and survive.
Gravity does most of it once you're in there, I think,
Yeah.
I do think anything in a sled is realistic. I would probably try to slow that thing down. It's going awfully fast.
Same.
75 miles an hour is probably like 65 miles an hour too many. That I want to be at a comfortable 10, just a leisurely pace.
A lazy
there.
river kind of pacing.
Precisely. We can just have some snacks, sort of enjoy myself. I do like on the skeleton athletes, they have the helmets because they're face down. One person has like the Venom helmet. Others
That's
have
fun.
like really cool things that like, I guess, intimidate the track. I don't know. They look cool though. Anything sled related I would like to do. And then basically anything on a mountain I'm going to be out of. Ski jumping.
That's the one for me. Because that's one you have to do it.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Even with moguls,
Yes.
it's like I would just put my skis in pizza formation and just try to go as slow as possible over those suckers.
fall off the
But once
end.
you get to that jump,
there's
you're
no
just
bailout.
like, well, here it is. Yeah. Even like the half pipe, you go, I bet I could get myself up and down without getting up in the air. Just kind of like, zoop, 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 like I could survive. They would be like, this is the worst half pipe run we've ever seen. This person seems to have a deep fear of the activity. I don't know why he's
But
doing
he's
this.
alive at the end.
He is alive at the end, which you don't get a lot of points for. Like I bet you could get more points showing up dead at the end, but doing really well at the beginning and middle than I would get being alive the whole time.
What can I do that I won't be banned for life by the IOC afterwards? Like, I want that to be my floor.
Yeah.
Well, and I just sent Joe a text like a week ago when I realized, I felt like a grandparent where I was like, are these sleds really doing 80 miles an hour? Like, I guess I just never noticed that. But now it's like on the screen where it gives you like like current miles per hour. And it's like, I didn't think it was 80. Like, that's insane.
Yeah. Well, because there's no context. You're
Right.
just like, that looks fast. But there's no like, they don't show it against like, okay, here's what it looks like against city traffic. And here's what it looks like against highway traffic.
Right. Against a crotch rocket. Yeah.
Yeah, look, when you see a bullet train going by itself, you're like, that's a train. But when you see
Sure.
it next to a moped, you're like, wow, that's dangerous.
That's so fast. Totally. Wow. So it is really thrilling to watch all these athletes at kind of the peak of their skills in ways that we don't see most of the time. Like there's only usually it's just during the Olympics that I see like a downhill skier or a speed skater. Mm-hmm. And it's been so wonderful to have you both along for the show tonight. Before we all turn in, as you know, we like to ask our guests to give a special good night to someone or something out there in the world, to a friend, a loved one, a group of people, a mountain, whatever feels right before we say goodbye.
Well, I'll start. These two are not technically my friends. It's an unrequited friendship, but I've really fallen deeply in love with both Chalk and Bates, and I know they're listening right now. Mm-hmm. Great job on getting that silver medal. Great job on the love that you've shown, not only for sport, but each other. And I hope you have a wonderful night's sleep clutching your new prize. Congratulations.
It's very sweet.
Thank you, Joe. And Jeremiah, do you have a good night to send out there in the world?
I do. And it's also to an Olympian that doesn't know who I am, but I'm like sort of deeply crushing on. And that is Francesca Lollobrigida, who is an Italian speed skater who won a gold medal. She won a gold medal on her 35th birthday, which is just like That's coolest cool. story. There's like all these clips of her like with her family, and like she's got like a 3-year-old son that kept like trying to grab the microphone when they're trying to interview her after she wins the gold medal. And, you know, she's a 4-time Olympian, and she's been doing it a long time, and she's just like a bright light. And also just like when they interview her in English, she has like that quintessential Italian accent, you know, where she's just like, I'm so happy. And it's just like this, oh God, it just warms my heart. So good night, Francesca. I hope you enjoy your gold medal and your beautiful family. You're just a ray of light in this world.
That's wonderful. Thank you both so much for those good nights. And thank you so much for being here this evening on the Nightly. It's time for me to scuttle off to bed at a slow and safe and gentle speed. So good night, Jeremiah, and good night, Joe.
Night, night.
Good night, Josh.